Welcome back to Airbnb Success. My name is Trang Nguyen, and in this session, I'm going to show you the part 2 of the training, how to create a wow listings in order to attract guests for them to book your place and then start making money from it. Yeah. Okay, first thing we're looking at listing your space. Okay, so what you do is click into the button called List Your Space, and you will see the screen in front of you now. That will be the entire. You will choose and have an option of choosing either private room, entire home flat, how many people you allow to accommodate, and your location. Then you look on the right hand side, you will see what you could earn in your area, and this is the price of what I could earn in London for 1 week with one person in a private room. Okay, this is just a suggestion. Don't buy into it. All right, you might get more, you might get less, but it's a good suggestion that Airbnb giving you. So go into airbnb.co.uk/room/new, and you will be able to create listings, or you just open Airbnb and you see a button called list your space and click into it. Right, so when you list your space, there's a few things to concern about, and the first thing is description. The listing name, the title is the most important things when people look in your space. And actually, there's two most important things: the title and the photo. That is determined the person looking for a place to click in your listing or not. Yeah, so photo and then listing name. With the listing name, the good title have to grab the user attention and provide some key information about the space. To create a listing description on your listing name and summaries are the important things. The name is the first thing the potential renter will read after your photo catch the eye, and the summaries is the first thing they read after they click through. Every marketable product has a title. Remember the iPhone, revolutionary iPhone? Remember when it's released by Apple and instantly catching people attention? If you you could remember about the Breaking Bad television series about the cancer-ridden high school chemistry teacher, or the most popular all over the world, a famous sandwich that has been served to billions of people across the globe, and that also including yourself, unless you are vegan or vegetarian from birth. It's named the Big Mac. The successful products have good titles, and although substance is important, a clever or catchy name can mean the difference between a customer trying something new or passing up an amazing product. So pick your top 2 to 3 reasons you think you have a good space, and then boil them down to one word. For example, it's the location, the site, rooftop access, penthouse, private room. Yes, so start brainstorming and thinking what the name of your listings is similar to the headline, a blog, or of a publication. It needs to attract a browser to click on your listing and read more. A good title should accomplish 2 goals: grab user attention and provide some key information regarding the space. Now, I've seen many titles that include either the city name or the particular neighborhood. These are both improper use of the title. Why? Because both city and neighborhood are already displayed in the search result. When people look for somewhere they like to travel to, they're already clicking into either London, New York, China, India, Shanghai. They also search for that, so there's no point for you to put your title in the same name. And you only have 35 characters for the listing name. So think about the key qualities that might attract a guest, a browser to click on your property. Okay, your title needs to be snappy, inviting, and specially tailored for a particular crowd. It needs to prompt users to click and explore your listing. I recommend using descriptive terms and a phrase such as a perfect location, luxury, incredible amenities, or rooftop, penthouse. Think about the best and most unique aspect of your house and try to incorporate them into your title. If your place is special, like it's a lighthouse or it's a boat, then that's already stand out. But do put it in the description, a yacht, a tent. Then the description will jump out to the type of crowd that interested in unique place to stay, and use descriptive terms and phrase like perfect, luxurious, great, private, comfy, comfortable, spacious, etc. I will provide you the keyword list too later, so you can take a look. And using those as well, just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Anyone can do that. So do consider, are you near public transportation? Are you price competitive? In the room beautifully decorated? The neighborhood quiet? What make your spot desirable for booking? And then modify the title based on the season as well. This is a very good trick that I learned. A very good host. Those benefit and keyword lists to create a listing name. The create title from different city and all of the listing among the highest performer within the location. I read you some example in the keyword list, alright? In cities like Los Angeles, there's a very popular name, popular title like luxury private beachside studio, pool. And in New York is beautiful studio in luxury building. How attractive is that? Beautiful studio in luxury building. Though attractive word as draw people into your listing. In Chicago there are Oxy Artist Studio by the Lake. Sound nice. In Vancouver there's a place with the title Amenity Rich Condo Downtown / Parking. That's a park right in Vancouver with the parking. And Toronto, stunning arc lover, rock and roll apartment. These kind of title will attract certain crowd. Like the people wearing suit in the office all day, they wouldn't be drawn into rock and roll apartment, alright? But there's a lot of people like new experience, traveling places, and art lover. They love to come there. Another place in Paris called Luxury Quiet close to Eiffel Tower. That's very spot on, Eiffel Tower. And it's quiet. London, chic, cozy flat near Big Ben. That is so great. It totally jump out. Okay. Right. Moving next. Is a great way to drive up business and customer demand is to modify your title based on the season. Since booking usually happen within 1 to 2 months of a guest travel day, you can modify your title temporarily in accordance with whatever major event is about to take place. Like in London, we have Notting Hill event, and around that season, I tend to change the name a bit. And yeah. To take a moment to consider what event or season tend to draw the largest crowd from out of town. I mean, yeah, to example, I'm saying a Carnival Notting Hill is one of the most popular carnival in London, and also known as one of the widest party on the planet. The visitor head to London believe that they can parade and take part in the non-stop festivity. And few example good title to bed luxury carnival center parties or watch carnival parade from the balcony or best spots carnival. Right. But of course those names you can't really leave them all there all the time. You got to change it time to time in season. Moving to summary and the detail of the description. A listing summary is used to communicate further detail about your listing that support the listing name, and you have only 250 characters. So when you go into the listing and click on a particular one, you will see on the top immediately in front of you there will be pictures, the main pictures, and then the summaries. Okay, you're only allowed 250 characters. It tell the reader what make your room, your house, your apartment special. Talk about what the room feel like. Okay, describe the decor and mention detail about the neighborhood and the location. If you have successful role into a potential customer with your awesome picture and title the description where you suited it. This is your opportunity to picture of your home. Is it the amenities and is it the surrounding area with a lovely wording that attracting them? I encourage you to sink your teeth into this section and let your writing answer any hanging question or concern a potential guest might have. Most people would want to know, is the room or the apartment or house attractive? Then they can determine this partly through the photo you provide, because people also concerned, is the neighborhood safe? Is it quiet? And is there anything fun to do nearby? Any restaurant, any bar, any shopping? In your house, your place located near public transport? And how convenient is it to drive to the other side of the city? It is story behind your listings. It is something that make it special or different from other listing in the area. And of course, they also if it's just a part of the place that you rented out, then they will concern is there a private entrance, and if they get the old bathroom, and is there a free parking outside your place. Create description also using the keyword listing, all right, and accurate describe your property. Make sure you describe what's mentioned in the listing name. Example, welcome to our comfy and private room near downtown London. Perfect for a short stay and affordable too. Londonized, Embankment is a safe and desirable neighborhood on the east side of the river. You can walk to cool bars and restaurants and just hop on the bus to explore the whole city. Another one is make your trip to Barcelona a comfortable one in a quiet country style home, out of the beaten path. But just stay to a great restaurant and shopping, enjoy your old private entrance and bathroom, plus a set of vintage bicycle for exploring. Those items you should include in the description at the side of the house. If you can write down to the square feet, even great. I don't do that, sorry. The number of bedrooms, of course, this is important. The number of bathrooms, any outdoor areas, such as balconies, patio, porch, sorry. Description of your room, the floor, The room is on either ground level or top level. Either they live in the ground and you live in the top, or you living in the ground and they live in the top. The presence of an elevator, approximately to public transport and approximately to supermarket distance, parking availability. Again, this is your chance to be detailed and elaborate. Give your reader the very last bit of information you must have. What size the bed, what appliances does your kitchen have, if there's a bathtub in the bathroom, or a shower, what the title is like your diploma piece of paper with the name of your major, the description is your PhD thesis, an in-depth rundown of everything you have to offer. Details, no limit at all, and answer all the guests concerned about your place and evoke positive emotion versus descriptive physical stuff as I talked about previous talk. So if you use a lot of words that evoke the emotional, that better, because sometimes people make decisions based on the emotion, not on like how many chairs you have in the room or how many toilets. That's important, but if you can say something like a nice comfy bathroom with 2 extra toilets, you feel better. And good wordings versus bad wordings when you write your list. Anything that positive you get, keep all the positive around. Write an accurate and realistic presentation details. When you're describing your apartment is as amenity, employing words that evoke positive emotion, like I said earlier. So instead of simply describing furniture or an item in a matter of fact, attempt to use colorful words and phrases and positive emotion. Good word. An example of good word versus bad words. Forwarding like the house has a balcony. You can replace it with after a great day of sightseeing, the balconies is a perfect and lush spot to reflect on the day while enjoying a cool drink in the afternoon. That sounds so great, right? I mean, I'm not very good with writing, but if you start looking out there and looking at all the listing and start thinking, brainstorming, then you can make your word more flower, more beautiful. Let's me give you another example. Instead of saying my apartment has a bedroom, a bathroom, and a full kitchen with utensils and cooking materials, you can say, notice the marvelous decoration in this immaculately clean apartment. The space is comprised of cozy double bedroom, a large and well-lit bathroom, an impressively chic living room, and a fully stocked kitchen that is perfect for any amateur chef looking to have a nice meal. See, that makes the whole thing feel much better. Okay, or do you want your listing to be as attractive and appealing as possible? Make sure to give an accurate and realistic presentation, alright? Nothing making out. Don't promise anything you can't deliver. To ensure that you are providing a well-tailored and reasonably representative listing, Airbnb has a special rating category called accuracy. If you push the limit and mislead your customer, your overall rating will pay the price. So there you go. That is okay. Another thing is copy of the listing description. Okay, you can copy mine. I will give you the list of a description. Or you can look in my listing description. It's not very great because I am Vietnamese, remember, and I'm still learning English every day. Ha 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 ha. But I bet some of you can drive much better than me because I normally just ask my husband to put some wording and do nice work for me. So do look around your area then you start seeing all the listings that nice and start copying them. Not exactly word to word, of course, because that's gonna be reflect on your listing, right? So don't do that, but do um, copy the idea, the way they write, and then put it in your listing. The next one will be location. So just fill in your address and then pinpoint on the Google map. So Airbnb give you two options, either exact address or just pin it, and then they will reflect it in the whole area. And the guests will see roughly where your listing is located in the search result, but they won't be able to see the exact address, all right, until they book your place. Then they Airbnb will send them the confirmation information of your address, and then it will show on the map on the Google Map that installed inside Airbnb of the exact location you want. Then next we're moving into amenities. These amenities is a checklist that you create for guests to know exactly what you have and make the decision to book. So Airbnb will have the list out of all basic amenities, and what you don't have, you just untick it. I mean, you don't take it, and it will appear to be strike out when the guests look into your listings. And some amenity will need further explanation in the descriptions. And then there's some amenities you always forget and guess, but the guests expect to have them. Let's go down to explain a few amenity in the description, such as laundry, parking of premises, breakfast, pets, smoking, the gyms. Those are the things that you will be tend to be asked over and over again. When the guests take an interest in your place, they will actually look down into, do you have done some of those. Laundry, you can include this if you had a laundry nearby, but if you live in the house and you let the guests use the washing machine and the laundry room, then that's a plus. Parking on premises, I would say that you can check this if you have parking, but if it's not on the premises, you have to mention it in your listing, all right? Because some place like in center of the big city, popular city, you wouldn't be able to get parking. You could be able to get parking, but then it will be a charge either from your local authorities or from a specific car park or specific hotel that your guests can stay and pay for it. The breakfast option, it doesn't mean that you're serving breakfast. It just means that you have stuff in your fridge and it's open for get to use, but do explain it clearly in your listings. All right. Think about having pet, having guests who bring in pet as well. If you can always say in the listing to ask about pet beforehand. Okay, there is a big difference between a big dog and small cat. Allowing pets can be a big advantage to your listing, but of course it will go with more cleanings. Smoking, right? If you are a smoking person and whether you decide in your house, it will be up to you. But I highly recommend that don't let people smoke in your house. It's not worth it unless, yeah, of course, yeah, unless you're already a more smoker. But if you already a smoker, then do consider what that will mean for your guests. You can let your guests smoking outside if you do that as well, then it's big great. Or if you have a garden, guests can go to the garden to smoke. But do state that clearly in your description. Another one is gym. If you have the gym nearby, that is plus. or if you even have a gym inside your old block of flat and that provide to all the residents and guests can access it, they're even better for your listings. So be thoughtful about adding each amenity because some are going to be required before you take the guests and some are unnecessary but nice to have, So keep that in mind. The internet is going to be required. That's the most important thing is the internet. You heard nowadays that internet is the basic needs of people. So unless your listing is the cabin lock in the middle of nowhere, well, everyone would expect that you don't have the internet option. But um, most of place people going to travel, they will expect to have an internet, and you will lose quite a lot number of guests if you don't have the internet option. Alright, so if you don't actually have internet in your house because you just use on your phone, then do consider to apply for one. Okay, there's some amenity you often forget, and but the guests expect them. I will give you the list of the checklist of what is the amenity that you need to get for your guests. Every guest traveling have a different need and wanted. All right. Those missing amenity could be like alarm clock, stationery, a nightstand, a blow dryer, basic toiletries, cereal, coffee maker, wine opener, extra blanket, water hooks, and etc. If you just run up and down the aisles of either Waitrose, Tesco, Sainsbury's, IKEA, or the supermarket store, you will see things that the guests will need and start spotting out. So try to imagine all the things you use when you travel and you will be able to reflect it onto your checklist of amenity. So when we're done with amenity, we're moving into photos. As everyone said, a picture's worth 1,000 words. We are highly visual and human being, and we rely mostly on our vision to understand the world. So the sense of sight is a key tool to um, for human to hunt animal, decode history, create technologies, and understand our fellow human beings. So if anything, a picture is worth far more than 1,000 words. But the first part of your listing, then the visitor will looking into is a selection of your photo. So when the search result appear after a guest search for a particular place they want to travel to, they will see your title and primary photo appear in your listings. But this is the most critical factor for your click-through rate. All right. Because of this, make sure your place look is absolutely best when you're checking those photo shots. And there's a unlimited number of photos you can upload on Airbnb, either 4 photos or 80 photos. They can accommodate all of that. So for the 4 basic photos you have to have is the bedroom itself, the bathroom, toilet, bathroom/toilet, the kitchen and living room. So that is for most important pictures. But if you don't have the living room, then it might be trees. That's it. The 3 basic. Sorry, the front door, or the area of your listings. Okay, when it comes to the actual photo shoot, I strongly recommend that you take an advantage of an Airbnb professional photo service. If it is available in your area, use it. According to Airbnb hosts that this service make on an average 2.5 times as much income as those who use their own photo. And the professional photo service is absolutely free, so that's a perk for using Airbnb. All right. Moreover, the photographer highly professional and manage the entire photo shoot themselves, so you don't even need to tell them anything. They could even lay out. I mean, they won't lay out the bed for you. They would adjust the room and the beds how to look is best. Do this for taking the high quality photo shoot by yourself before you be able to get in touch with Airbnb photographer. So because you need your listing to be up online and running, you have to fill in the photo before you can contact anyone to make a new photo for yourself, make a professional photo for yourself. So these are a few tips that can help you to take high quality photo that create a wow image. First is clear and clean space. Having a great photo taken is depend very highly on your place. So you have to prepare your room properly. Clean each room with the cleanliness they have ever been. Remove all the cluster from each photo shot. There should not be anything there in the shot unless you're planning it to be there. Okay. Make sure to insert the accessory into each shot. You can rotate the items of interest through each shot. For example, flower or pictures of the decoration in the room, pillows. Let's go all on to the detail. When you take when you take the photo, remember to make sure your shot is focused in something particular and make it clear, and also it's got to be in horizontal. Never take photo in portrait or vertical because they don't fit on Airbnb site and they look very awkward, they look awful. You're gonna have like two black block on the left and the right hand side of your photo. Yeah, make sure your shot focus on something and it's clear. Don't take photo of between the room or spaces on the wall. Okay, it's horrible. There has to be a point to the shot. Take an extra shot every time you take pictures so you can pick the least blurry image as well. Take the shot from where your eyes naturally are and not above or below your head. Okay. And you got to optimize your shot for lighting. Get as much natural light as possible and add artificial light as a backup. You plan to do your shot during the time of day where each room has the most light, usually midday. Insert the lamp behind your camera or strategically in the room to lighten up dark area. When it's been used correctly, adding flash to your shot can help a lot. And of course, you do not need to have a photographic skill to make a great shot at work. Remember, you can always get Airbnb free photography. It's just a matter of getting this shot up at the beginning of your listings. So these are the tips that can help you to create a good photo. More photo better. Actually, let me show you. Let me talk more about how to make an amazing photo. If you have an iPhone of the latest Samsung phone, they tend to make the picture of the room look much better than itself because they have they make the room look brighter, lighter. Especially when you notice when you do what is called when you do when you take photo of yourself, right? And you can see that your face will look like much nicer in the photo. So optimizing the lighting is important bit when taking the photo. Try to use natural light. Take the picture during the day, early in the morning or late afternoon, so that the sunlight is less direct. And keep the lighting consistent from room to room as well. Don't have the living room is too bright and then the bathroom is too dark because you don't have window in there. Just adjust the focus of your camera to make sure that the detail of the room is sharp. If you use the actual camera, not the smartphone, then use a tripod so that you can take advantage of a longer exposure time without sacrificing the clarity of the image. Take low shot approximately 40 inches off the ground to replicate the feel of the magazine style shot. And shoot straight on without any tilt. Modifying the angles can distort the line of your photo. Turn off your flash as well. Sometimes it doesn't really help, but you can take a lot of photo and then test it out. Then you can see which one is the good one to pick it out. Okay, and more photo is the better. The first 25 photo you have is all about your space. So the bedroom, the bedside, the wardrobe, the table and chair you have in the room, the flower, the TV, living room, or the amenities in the bathroom, in the kitchen, everything about your space. And then the next 20 photo is about your neighborhood, either the front door or the road of your the street, close by views, places like a park or pub, a shop, or the station close by to your house, all the attractive places photo. And when you have assembled your collection of photos, make sure to assign the best and most descriptive photo as your primary photo. So good primary photos are usually shot of the living room or the large area that reflect the best feature of your space. Which me, my main photo is the bedroom because I rent out room by room. So the most important for the guest is that when I actually have one guest, when he booked my place, he said that actually booked it because in the area only my listing actually had the bad pictures on the listings itself when you search for it. So I just go to my place, go for my listings, and he started checking it out, and actually it's just described as good as the photo itself. So that's why he go for it. Then when you have had enough photo to cover all the room amenities space, some good pictures of the interesting of the neighborhood, that will be all the basics for your photo. And then you got to every pictures you upload, make sure to write the colorful and descriptive caption. Mention the best feature of each room so as a guide for the eyes of the guests. And after you finish your listing, you can go to airbnb.com/info/photography and then get access to a professional photographer. It's free. You look in the picture, you can see that the picture that people taking in the bedroom from the bedroom by himself, and then the after photo when the photographer, Airbnb photographer come over and take a photo, is a completely different room, right? They have you to make the room more visibility and higher quality and just look so nice. It's make the room look much better than it's it actually is. um, there is no substitute for getting Airbnb to do your photo. They know their stuff and they will make your space look great. I mean, and of course, it took a while to get them to come out to your place, and you had to be an active host before they will even consider your application. All right. I mean, after you list your space for about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, and you have maybe more than 20 guests stay at your house, then you will see, if you use it on your phone, you will see the option of book a photographer appear. It's that appear on your listings, and then you click to it, and you book it. So you don't have to go through this. But if you like want to start the beginning to go through to apply for photographer, and go ahead and go to the link. Um, Next, so after when you done the photo, we go into decide what the price comparable property in your area, of course. So you can decide what price you want. If there's no space similar, then check the hotel price in the area. If you put the price too high, you wouldn't be able to appear on the listing, so people will just ignore you because first you don't have any review, and second your price too high, more than that ways, more than what they expect to pay. So start from 10 to 20% lower than the price when lower than the price in your area, because then compare based on the location, the number of bedroom, type of amenity you price, you provide for the guests, and any extra things that you provide like stock, beer or beverages in the fridge, giving them some extra things like mint or chocolate. If you when you uh, added all of that up, then you can decide on what the price you will put on Airbnb as a standard. Find one anchor property in your area to work around this. Okay. Apart from the pricings for the room, Airbnb also giving you the option to charge for extra, such as cleaning fee, additional gas, and the security deposit. Different hosts charge varying amount, and you should tailor your charge according to the type of space you have as well as your experience level on Airbnb. For cleaning fee, you make more money if you add the cleaning fee into Airbnb, and that's the truth. And some guests they won't mind to pay for it if it's a reasonable price. Yeah, don't clean every time. Don't assume that you're going to clean your space personally every time, because that is how most of the hosts burn out, right? You got to calculate the time you think it takes to clean, and then add 40% on top of that, because that will be the proper amount of the time. And yes, it's always more than you think. If you're planning, okay, I just cleaning the bedroom for like half an hour, and then moving to the bathroom and the kitchen, something like another half an hour, that's totally wrong. You got to add more time on it. You probably end up to like, if it's a one bed apartment, one bed flat, and you clean the bathroom, kitchen, it probably take 2 hours. So 2 hour really, for it to be cleaned, and clean by yourself when you start. So you have a feeling, and you know that how much time and effort required to clean particular place space. Then later on, when you get a cleaner, you can tell them exactly what you expect from them to clean, and keep it up. The normal price for cleaner is vary between £10 to £8, £10 per hour. And if you also want to check gas in, then it will be between £12 to £50 per hour, depend on how experienced the cleaner is and which cleaner you actually get into your place. Okay. Remember to always overpay your cleaners. Because you will find someone or group that understand the room for the rental. It's best to pay them more and you so they can do a better job and you don't have to spend much time to manage them. And if you pay them good, they'll probably stay with you for long as well. You don't want to just keep getting a new cleaner every time and then you have to spend time to training them over and over and over again. Okay, so don't try to profit off the cleaning fee. It's counterproductive and you will always lose money if you do that in the long term. All the halls are free to add an extra fee for cleaning. And although I found that applying this charge does not negative impact on booking, accordingly, it makes sense to have a fixed cost for cleaning. A typical cleaning fee will range, for one bedroom flat, I think, we range between £20. Yeah, that's the price you would add, the charge you will add for your guests, not the cost you pay for your cleaner, right? So it starts from like £20 to, I don't know, up to 100 and £200, depend on the size of your listings in your place. For new listings, I highly recommend to implementing a low fee or no fee at all. Why? Because cleaning fee are displayed on per night basis. Alright, that means the more nights you get booked, the lower the cleaning fee will appear. And since the new listings will benefit most by hosting an abundance of short stay to build up reviews, a low fee is optimal. High fee that might discourage potential guests from booking short stays. Okay, and because you are building up your review as well, so just have no cleaning fee at the beginning, because that's what I was doing. So for the first 2 months, I have no cleaning fee, no extra fee, basically no extra charge at all. Then from the third month onward, when I start seeing good review coming in and actually see my listings that go moving up, I add a bit of cleaning fee in. So first I add something like a half or more than half of what I normally pay cleaner, and then after a month or two, I will increase it to the price of what I normally pay the cleaners and maybe a little bit more. And then I keep it there. Because by that time I already have enough number of reviews for people to trust my listings to book it, and also people will just think that it's normal. Yeah, it's normal. So people think that all the review people also pay the same price like what I'm paying now, and they get that kind of service, so I'm gonna just pay for it. Within the extra charge, we also have extra people fee. If you do this right, this will add 20% to your income. Yes, it will. The extra fee calculated into the base rate that your play displays, so it rarely scrutinized. Only experienced user know there's such a thing, and it's tricky to even find out. So extra people use more utility, create more noise, create more damage, and harder to manage. So it will depreciate your place and furnishings faster eventually. Uh, but then, so if you charge for it, it will compensate yourself for all the work extra that you have to do. For example, if your place, let's say, you can accommodate 6 people in your two-bed flat, okay? But then because you have only two bed, two room, then you have to put an extra bed, or the other person can stay on the sofa or something. Then you can start with 3 people minimum, and then from the 4 people onward, they have to pay an extra of, let's say, £15, £20 per person. Okay. Mm. So make use of the extra person fee, um, but make it reasonable so it doesn't become too large for barrier for guests to book. So good starting fee for extra people is £7 per night per extra person. So that is for the start, and then you can add on top of it. I mean, increasing it later on. Next, if is the whole property that you rented out on Airbnb, then you got to concern more about different type of guests that come to your place with different number of people. Because sometimes they said, oh, I only had 3 people coming to your 6 people place, right? And then they book the whole place, and then later on you find out that they actually have 6 to 7 or even 8 people staying in your place. Yeah, so that's a concern a bit later. Typically, I don't like to price my extra person fee related to the room price because I rent out room by room. So I just think about each additional guest will make the place less or more appealing with the new price, alright? Make sure to tell your guests who inquiry about coming and list they are one list out if they are one person or 2 people or more than that. So when you see they reference us or couple or anything else similar like that, then do ask them and re-ask them and recheck on them. One of the headache as a whole side the guests who bringing the extra person and lying about the number of people to avoid the fee. The one time I have a 1 bedroom flat, and I actually charge £17 per person extra after 2 people. No, 2 bedroom flat, sorry. Yeah, and I think that's a fair rate. You just check out in your area, then you will see how much people charge, and then you can charge similar price. It will reflect on it, or maybe 10% cheaper, lower than the neighbor. And later on, when you have a lot of reviews, then you start increasing it to reflect of your place. The next charge you can put on is security deposit. Some of you will ask, does it really matter? It's actually matter, if you actually rent out the whole space. But then sometimes with other people like me, it doesn't matter because I only rent the room, and I've already know that we have the insurance covered by Airbnb, so the deposit isn't really completely necessary. In the event of damage, you could technically use Airbnb for claims because they give out 600, they have the £600,000 insurance cover for house. So it's not worth the hassle at all to put the security deposit to me. It's my point of view. And deposit that are too high can actually be a stop for your guests to book your place. The reasonable deposit average out the price of all the amenities available in your space. So you can base on the value of your furnishings, and consider all the things that more likely to get broken, the glass item or ceramic items. Okay, if you rent a room only like me, then and you do consider that your room worth a lot of money because you just spent £1,000 on a new bed, then put a very little amount of security deposit place. With one bed flat, 2 to 3 bed places, you can raise your price over time. At first, the deposit size won't feel like it's providing enough coverage, but you get there, okay? I mean, look at all the standard landlord in a major city. You will have the option to collect the security deposit for any damage, loss, and incur during your guest stay. And then you have 84 hours after checkout to make a claim with Airbnb, alright? So when you make the claims, you can either, number one, accept the claim and agree to make the payment. Agree with the payment, you can check it out of the deposit. Or number two, they can refuse the claim and invoke Airbnb mediation process. And when it gets to this stage, it's a bit more complicated. It will take a lot of your time to liaise with Airbnb and then liaise with the person because you couldn't agree with them. So to other people to use it. I mean, first, it could deter well-intentioned and reasonable guests. And I have several friends who have set their security deposit because they deal with landlords in the past who falsely claim damages. Okay, the Airbnb is quite good at sniffing out the deceptive landlord, but still, guests certainly don't want to deal with this potential problem. And secondly, I never had any damages to my place other than extremely minor issue that I can't be claimed anyway. Like the cabinet door in the kitchen to fall out the other day. And it's just like if you live in your space and you use it over and over and over again, one of the days it's gonna come up and fall out. So it's not major damage that I can really make any claim. But in the case of real damage, like if the guest actually break glass table in your room or break the hot the electric shower in your bathroom, then you can always lean on Airbnb host guarantee. Okay. So once we decide with all of the extra fees, you moving on to set your calendar. You have 3 options. The first one is always available. This is a completely open calendar. Yeah, so Airbnb will set every day with the price that you decided earlier. The second option is sometime available. You can list some dates as available and some days you block it. If you want your family to come to stay or friend gathering or you just don't want anyone in your space, you just want it for yourself, then you can choose this. And the third option is available ones, only open for a single set of dates. This is like when you actually go on holiday and renting your space while you're on holiday, and you just go holiday like 1 or 2 a year, then you can choose this option. But I highly recommend you to go for sometime available because when you list your space, right, then go for holiday, the chance that you will go to holiday more often because the Airbnb will pay for all of your holiday anyway. So the chance that you will do this over and over and over again more than once. Okay. And depend on the situation, like I said, for It's for you to choose each of those options. And yes, a stack of some time available to that option. But if you decide, okay, I just clear out the room and I can get guests to staying there all the time, anytime. I don't have anyone in family or friend to accommodate, then yeah, go for always available. That isn't better. And then whichever day that you decide, oh, today I'm too tired, I don't want any guests for the next week or something, then just block it off. Go and block it off. That's easy, flexible to do. For reservation setting, the minimum day, Airbnb gives you the option to set the minimum and maximum amount of nights for potential guests. Okay, this limit to the day your guests staying. You find that a lot of highly visited apartments set to 2-3 night minimum. This is to maximize their profits and reduce hassles, but never set to minimum 7 days. All right, better. And then whichever day that you decide, oh, today I'm too tired, I don't want any guests for the next week or something, then just block it off. Go and block it off. That's easy, flexible to do. For reservation setting, the minimum day, Airbnb gives you the option to set the minimum and maximum amount of nights for potential guests. Okay, this limit to the day your guests staying. You find that a lot of highly visited apartments set to 2-3 night minimum. This is to maximize their profits and reduce hassles, but never set to minimum 7 days. All right. Unless you actually want a long-term tenant. um, but if you are a new user with the new reviews, with few reviews, sorry, I recommend setting the minimum to 1 night. Don't set at all, because to be frank, beggars can be choosers. I'm joking, but your door should be wide open at the one side of your Airbnb career so that you can effectively view your brands, And the initial goal is to simply secure as many good reviews and high rating as possible so that you can climb up the ranking ladder later on. So setting a minimum day can easily cut your booking in half, literally. If you want more booking, don't set it. And because for 1 night, minimum day is will build your review quickly as well. So yes, you might have to do more work because guests move in and out every day. But then after a month, you have if it actually happened, I have never seen that happen. If actually happened and you actually have 20-day book by 20 guests, then by the end of that month, you already have 15 to 18 reviews. Okay. Yeah, because we calculate into some people that don't bother to leave you review. That's why. When it comes to setting a maximum amount of nights, I recommend you to keep it into 1 week, especially for newbies. Yeah, like I said, you don't want long-term tenant. The goal is to keep the rental flowing while still providing an ample time for full vacation. Even for seasonal users, increasing the maximum doesn't make much sense. You're asking me why? Ideally, your price should be fixed at a point where the guests find it too expensive to book your apartment for 2 weeks for a month, If your apartment is in high demand by people seeking lengthy stay, your price is set too low. So 1 day rental, a great way to get positive review quickly. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to check these when you have your place up and running. And if you're a serious host about improving your listing, you should see this as an opportunity. You can always set to no minimum and then selective choose guests that are staying longer, so that easy for you. um, if you have to insist on setting minimum days, it actually take longer to give your review and you will get less booking. So maybe just restrain yourself from doing it until you have some reviews. Okay, the next one, Airbnb give you an option of instant book. And many hosts are using this option now. The instant book um, is is a tool that allows guests to book your property without first asking for its availability. Um, because many guests will just book and then send you a message about themselves, and then you will get a substantially less information about each guest if you go this route though. Um, but instant book will dramatically increase your booking, but can come with a lot of headache. And only turn. So when you start, I highly recommend you to not using it and start this when you become an experienced host, which means you're the host from 10 to 15 guests. This look you will have an option to turn this on later on. There will be a yellow lightning bolt appear on your listings. Last minute booking, book without a host approval. That is it. Yeah. So this explain about instant book better. The guests have to send a message, then reapprove the date, then the guest can book it. So remember to only turn this on when you are fully prepared and have some experience hosting. Host issue multiply when you have instant book. Make sure you're running a tight ship before turning this on. Yeah, and by the time Airbnb mature in a city, virtually all hosts will use instant book, so it might be a requirement to stay competitive. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though. After you get in the hang of renting, you are going to want to personally get every guest coming, vet every guest coming, and reapprove every guest coming, right? But be especially careful if you list a spare room and a full apartment as well, because you can be easily double booked. It's happened to me, you know. Right. Yes, so instant book will give you more booking. Most property has instant book turn on, and 50 to 80% will serve the host you instant book. So it will depend on your place and your space. You can decide later on after you have become an experienced host with more than 10 guests. Um, so when you decide about instant book, we're moving into the cancellation policies. You got 5 options in here. The flexible, guests are entitled to full refund one day before their arrival. And then you have moderate, which means the guests are entitled to a full refund 5 days upon their arrival. And then you got strict one, which guests are entitled to 50% refund up until 1 week before their arrival, and then super strict, which the guests are entitled to 50% refund up until 30 days before their arrival. When you start out, go for flexibility, please. Don't choose super strict or strict. Actually crosses out of your Airbnb. Super strict or strict, it doesn't make any sense for this. Even with a hotel, they don't even do super strict or strict, right? The guests might lose a bit of deposit at the beginning, but they all entitled to being refunded if they cancel before their arrival. So choose the flexibility when you're starting out and new. because from a consumer standpoint, the flexible option is by far the easiest and simplest way to make a reservation. It will encourage your user to choose your apartment despite the lack of review. And also, when you are new and your booking are fairly spare, the last minute cancellation will affect you significantly. This is only a major concern for heavily sought apartments that face much higher opportunity cost for cancel visit. When you reach approximately 80% of occupancy, you can consider switching to moderate if you want. This means that you can afford to, you know, cancel a flaky customer simply because the level of demand is high enough for you. And plus, that at this level of occupancy, the cancellation will significantly impact on your earning power. So if you're unsure of whether or not to switch to moderate, take a look at your cancellation over the last 3 months. If you're getting a high percentage of cancellation, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20%, I would recommend switching to moderate. Would you expect you super strict? I advise against all of these policy, please. They highly restrictive and quite unpleasant from consumer standpoint. When is the last time you ever heard of hotel enforce such strict regulation, right? This is completely out of whack with hospitality industry standard, to be honest. And additionally, if you are indeed looking to rent your space on a long-term basis, you will likely to be best served on an apartment rental website. And then you have an option of creating. So after the cancellation policy, you have an option of creating an official Airbnb guidebook, and this is just optional. It's not like you have to done it in order for you to list the space. Okay, so I just talk about it quickly. Basically, Airbnb provide hosts with the option to create a guidebook within the Airbnb platform, and you can find this option to on the manage listings. Okay. This page will offer a convenient way to make recommendations to your guests. You can ask cafe, restaurant, tourist attraction, anything that might tickle the fancy of a potential guests, or anything that you actually fancy yourself in your area. If you have created an Airbnb guidebook, it will be viewable. Then the guests can scroll down from your listing. But again, sometimes they will still keep asking you over and over again because they didn't bother to read your listing. But anyway, you got to have it in order to list your place and actually attract the right guests who stay at your place. Okay, next in the next session we will moving into more moving into my listings. I will show you in the inside of my listings, and I will walk you step by step on um, create listings on your account. Okay, I see you in the next one. Bye bye.